Hello everyone, welcome to a little demonstration of my Jira application made entirely with Forge. It's called Skill Tagger, and Skill Tagger basically allows you to manage a global library of skills, assign proficiency levels to team members, and set minimum skill requirements to issues. Now there are three major components to Skill Tagger, the first one being a global page, so I'll just go ahead and click apps, and if you've installed the application, it should show up under your apps. I'm going to click on that. It's going to take me to the global page. Now this is where you'll manage everything skill related. If I just let it load here. Okay, so there are three main tabs. The first one is for skills. This is where you'll create, update, and delete skills. So let's say I wanted to manage a skill called front end. Okay, front end related stuff. I can click create. It's going to create that. I can also edit the description if I wanted to, or I could delete it. For now, let's just create another skill called back end without any description. Okay, so we have two. And if we move over to the other tab, it's going to list all the workspace users, all the team members you have available. Okay, I have myself here, and if I view skills, I can see that I haven't set it, so it's been set to just 0 out of 10, beginner level. But I can manually change that. Let's say I'm pretty good at front end, so I'm going to set myself at 7, and back end I'm not that good, so I'm going to say 2. Okay, boom. If you look at view skills again, it's going to update, and it's if we look at view skill history, it's also going to show up. If I update this skill again, let's say I somehow improved my back end skill, and my front end I've gotten a little rusty, so I'm going to update that. If I view skill history again, if I filter by front end, you can see the exact history, the exact trajectory of my skill. Apparently, I've declined. Okay, if I look at back end, I've actually improved from being a beginner to an intermediate back end developer. Another tab is called actionable, but this is related to the third major part of Skill Tagger, so I'm going to show you later. Okay, so this is the first part, a global page. The second part is a custom field, where you'll be able to associate minimum skill requirements to issues, but right off the bat, it won't show up because you need to add the custom field. So if you go over to project settings, issue types, and let's say I want to modify the task, I want to add the custom field to this task type. Okay, Skill Tagger. Okay, I can add that in below description. I can save changes, and if I go back to project and I create an issue, okay, as you can see under description, I have Skill Tagger. Okay, let's say the skilled is to create the task is to create a login page. Now, creating a login page shouldn't take much front-end skill, so let's just say it requires 3. And then, as I'm changing the values, it's going to show the top candidates, recommended candidates for the specific task based on the minimum requirements. Okay, let's say back-end login page. So it's gonna require a bit of back-end skills. Okay. Now, right now, I've only set the skills of one candidate, but if there are more, it will show up here. Okay, so I'm gonna create that. Create a login page, and if I go to view the issue, it's gonna show up here. Okay. Boom. Top candidates. Now, again, if there are more candidates available, it's going to show up here. As you can see, the requirements are front-end, intermediate, and back-end advanced. If I look at if I click on this button, it's going to show how my skills compares to the actual minimum requirements. Okay. So you can see my current skill is 3 for back-end, which is below the minimum requirement, and the front-end actually exceed the minimum requirement. But since I'm the only one, I have no choice. Okay, so I'm going to assign myself. I can actually assign myself here. Now, this usually updates automatically, but I don't know why it's not doing that. So I'm just going to refresh. I've actually assigned myself based on the recommendation, right? And now, again, if I wanted to update the requirements, I can, but I'm not going to do that. Okay. And the third part is actually connected to the second part here. Okay. And also the first part. Let's say a user, let's say I'm the assignee here. So let's say I completed this to a done state. Okay. What's this going to do is basically, since this issue has a skill with a minimum requirement that's higher than the assignee's respective skill, it's actually going to notify the global page that of this in the form of user actionable stuff. Okay, if I refresh, as you can see, there's one user actionable available because I just completed that issue, which had minimum requirements that exceeded the assignee's skill level. Okay, so it's going to show up. It's going to show up in this table, in this tab, summary, completed issue key, and then the details. That particular issue had one skill that exceeded the user's assigned skill set at completion. Okay, so if I view here, it's going to show me that Anton Maximilian me completed the issue which had one skill that exceeded their assigned skill set at completion, which is backend. At the time, I had 3 proficiency, even though the issue's minimum proficiency is advanced. Okay, so I can adjust it right away into the value that was the issue's minimum proficiency, or I could adjust it based on my my own assessment. Okay, maybe it wasn't that hard, so maybe I'll just set it to 5. Okay, so I can then adjust. Boom, I've successfully adjusted the user skill to 6, and if I view or 5, I think, boom, it's gonna show up as 5. Okay. So that was basically it. Okay, so Skill Tagger, you'll be able to manage your team member skills and watch them improve. If I look at the skill history here, for backend, I've actually improved 2 times actually. From 2, I'm now at a 5 after completing that issue. So that's basically it. Thank you for watching.